so much in the spiritual path, there's so much focused on, especially these days, on awakening. You know, we want to wake up, we want to be fully liberated, fully free. We want to know who we are. And that is important, you know. It's beautiful, it's wonderful to come to that realization. And, you know, even if you haven't, or you feel you haven't fully grasped that, because sometimes it comes gradually, you know, it doesn't necessarily come, um, how should I say this, in one go. You know, sometimes this is very gradual. It's a kind of, you just you just notice more and more that you're not just your emotions and your thoughts and your feelings and your body, you know, that there's a presence there that's beyond all of that, and that's always here. And maybe there isn't a full realization that this is who you are. You know, maybe that dawns on you gradually. But it doesn't matter, because what matters is that our lives get transformed by this knowing, by this realization. Whether it's full or whether it's partial, it doesn't really matter, you know. Because my sense is that really what's so much more important in a human life is that whatever it is that we realize, whether it comes in the, you know, in the form of love, in the form of light, in the form of emptiness, in the form of a joy or a gratitude, what matters is that this is lived, that it transforms our day-to-day lives. And it will, you know. There's a beautiful thing that Krishna does, who's, who you may know. He does chanting. He's one of the most famous kind of chant leaders in the West. Um, there's something beautiful he says. He says, if you keep chanting, slowly but inevitably, you will come to realize yourself. And I love this phrase, slowly but inevitably, because I find it very true. I find it totally truthful. For most people, you know, for most people this is a gradual journey. And it may have highlights, you know, where there is a realization. And it's still a gradual journey, pre and post realization, you know. And actually, if you have a very full realization, you may resist the ordinariness of life, you know, of personal things that will still be part of your life. You may resist that much more than when it's gradual, because you know the fullness of emptiness, of being. So it can feel like, no, I don't want anything to do with this. But sooner or later, that's not what we're called to. Sooner or later, we're called for this life to be transformed. And often that's talked about in terms of embodiment. So, this life, your life, you're here for this life to be transformed by what you're seeking, whether you fully found it or not. And it's that transformation that will be the true, the fullness, the fullness of your realization, the fullness of knowing that, here I am, I have these feelings, and actually it's okay, I'm still here as this love that's untouched by that. I'm still here as this light of consciousness that sees that I'm being touched by feelings, and being kind of swept up in them. But at the same time, the feelings don't touch that light. They don't touch that love. They don't touch the being that is here and that expresses as those feelings. Actually, everything expresses. Everything is an expression of this light and this love. So, what happens when a life is transformed is that everything comes to be seen as this light, as this love. And sometimes that may dawn on you just momentarily, or it may be like that for a while because you're in a phase where this is very real for you. And then it may feel like you've lost that, but you haven't really. It's like discovering this love and this truth in your life. It takes place in time because your life takes place in time. So there's a kind of coming together of the beauty of who you are, who we are, and the way this is lived in our lives, the way we perceive what's happening, the way we feel, the way we talk, what we do, the way we do things, all of that. That's really where the transformation is. So, and to me that's beautiful. That's as beautiful as the purity of being. And truly, I don't feel that on this planet, at this time, we're really just called to be purely in the self. As the teaching has been in Asia, we're really called for our lives to be transformed by what we're knowing or looking for. So that transformation, it's very intimate. It's like in each of us that looks different. In each of our lives that takes a different form because we're all unique. And so what I'd invite you to honor is the form that it takes in your life. And to embrace that and to see the beauty and the meaning in that. like even the challenges are actually, that's the place where we get transformed the most deeply. Um, so that to me is really the invitation also of satsang, is to share, of sangha, is to share our, the uniqueness of who we are and how this unfolds for us. And at the same time to see that this beauty is there in all of us. And it takes this unique form in this person and this unique form in that person. Um, yeah, so that would be the invitation, that we share this today in this meeting. And however many we are, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you are here and that we are together in this, knowing that we are more than our bodies, more than our personality, more than what the eyes can see and the ears can hear. And yet we're also that. That's our unique expression in this life.